Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Campfire Tales. We got a special one tonight. One that there are a few things in this world I'm afraid of, but what we're talking about tonight scares me a little. But first, as always, we got Jeff. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Good. Jeff, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
And this might be the first night I ask a semi-serious question, and it'll be the same question across the board. But Jeff, what's the weirdest thing you've ever seen in the woods?
In the woods?
Yep.
I don't know. Three-legged squirrel one time.
Wait, you saw a three-legged squirrel?
Mm-hmm.
Which leg was missing, front or back?
One of its back legs.
Oh, I feel like it. How would a squirrel walk? Because their back legs are kind of long and
I don't know. He got around pretty good.
Wow.
You figure it out.
Yeah, I mean,
did you offer to make it a peg leg?
No.
Well, it's kind of rude.
That squirrel is the captain of a ship. I guarantee you that.
That's true. That voice you heard is Dave. How you doing, Dave?
Good. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Well, you did, and I hope you're proud of yourself. Hey, Dave, can I ask you a question?
No, because you hurt my feelings.
Well, I'm going to ask you anyways. What's the weirdest thing you ever found in the woods?
The weirdest thing I ever found in the woods?
Yeah, or saw, or walked in.
I found on our farm. Actually, this is a true story. We were out in the woods behind our farm. It's about like 100-acre farm, and this is an old wood. For whatever reason, back in there's like an early 40s, late 30s, like Buick sedan, like just sitting in the middle of the woods with a tree that's going through the windshield and out the back, and a bunch of trees that are growing into the car.
Mm-hmm.
No idea how it got there. I mean, it's not like it's on a road or anything. It was literally sitting in the middle of the woods. Kind of creepy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, fair enough. Finally, we have Jamie. This question's going to be funny because I bet you, Jamie, you can count less than one on one hand the number of times you've been in the woods. But Jamie,
listen,
what's the weirdest thing you ever found in the woods?
I've been struggling to think of something because Jamie doesn't go in the woods often.
Mm-hmm.
My dog is joining us right now. Stop it. And I can't remember finding anything weird. I intentionally went, and this isn't like weird, but I intentionally went to find in a woods I was going to these old rifle tunnels, I think for practice, so they get around but they're really old and abandoned, so they're all graffitied and apparently I did not go far in them because they're pitch black once you look in there, and I heard there are those I forget what they're fucking called. You guys would know. I think they're crickets, but they look like spiders and they jump.
Yeah, cave crickets.
But they look like spider. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
When I looked on the internet, they're full of them in this, and I was just like, I'm gonna nope right out of this. But I don't know. I can't. That's a question to just throw off the top of this. I'd have to think on that to my few experiences in the woods. So let's just say though that I did go looking, but it is weird. They were weird though.
I would just like to point out, Jamie, to hark back to an earlier Campfire Tale during a few weeks ago. If you would have just met some turtles to learn Kung Fu, you could have fought your way through those cave crickets that they were jumping. But I'm just, not that I want to call you out or point out your fatal flaw again, but it's just
what you did.
Coincidence.
I also purposely went to another one for an area in the wood. This was now in Philly. I don't remember what it was supposed to be, but they said kids used to whatever, perform rituals, whatever. But it was this odd little just stone, tiny little hut, but it was stone. You could literally fit two people in there, and it was rounded, and it had an opening, and that's it. It was very fucking weird too.
Like a Cropsey building.
Kind of.
I was going to say a smoker's hut, but
it was weird. Anyway, so yeah, I'll probably think of something and randomly message you on Discord of what the weird thing was that I actually did see in the woods once, but I can't.
No, I look forward to it.
Okay, when I remember.
Well, as you all know, in the main show last week, we talked about the fun little film, The Fourth Kind, about the which was based on the missing people in Alaska, but that story is actually part of a larger kind of creepy conspiracy story. Probably of all the ones, because I talk about them a lot, and I make jokes about my diarrhea defense plan, patent pending. But this one raises my cockles a little bit. We're going to talk about
what does it do? Wait, what does it do?
Raises your cock a little bit?
Yeah,
raises my cockles. Cockles.
Uh,
I
that
said
is not what you
cockles.
said. No,
That's
I
sir.
said cockles.
Nope.
Dave and I obviously heard something very different.
Yeah.
Well, that's because you both have dirty minds.
Yeah, I do,
Eli
but
popped
still.
a boner when he heard
No,
about
Jeff, you heard me say cockles, right?
I didn't hear anything. I'm not involved in this.
it.
But when we talk about the missing 411, have any of you heard? I imagine Dave has, but have any of you heard about the missing 411?
No,
411.
of course I have not. Let's
411,
That's the
411.
number you call before you dig.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the PA1 call.
So then I'll take that as a no. Dave is an avid hiker. I imagine you have heard about this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not everybody, but it's a common theme of conversation at midnight when you hear something weird in the woods and you're around the campfire. You start
Yeah.
talking about the missing.
And what's crazy is it is the number is actually not 411 anymore. It was at the time that the study first started. It has grown much larger and is becoming a more and more prevalent mystery with technology nowadays because they still do not find the answer. So basically what the missing 411 is this was like I think like 15, 20 years ago. A gentleman's a retired law enforcement and Bigfoot enthusiast. Those two sentences do go together. Started looking into the number of missing people that go missing in state parks or forests connected to state parks, because the National Park Services does not keep a great record of this. Because a lot of the parks, because they vary from state owned to nationally owned. They all various have resources. None of them have great resources. So the number is not tracked greatly. But he started looking in the best estimate he could come up with was within the last 100 years, over 1,000 people have reported going missing in state parks and forests around state parks in all 50 states of the U.S. What the kind of the incident the fourth count was based on was part of this. These gentlemen went missing in forests that were connected, like state park and like reservation land. They think that number is just the number they have reported. They actually think we're probably closer to 10 to 15,000 people in the last 100 years have gone missing in the woods in the U.S. A lot of people find that crazy, but the thing people don't realize is the U.S. is a vast country. And there's a lot of forest and areas, even though they are claimed by state parks, that are not widely traveled or actually known about.
That are populated by some apex predators.
Some are, Dave, but some are not. And to your point, yes, but the one thing that's weird is there's a lot of common occurrences that happen amongst these missing folks. This list, once a body is found, they don't count them in this list anymore. But there is still a lot that they never find a body, and there is a common occurrence amongst some of them to be considered a part of this missing 411 case, if you will. The three characteristics are: first one, bodies never found. Yeah, that's kind of self-explanatory. Secondly, a lot of times they will find the belongings of these individuals either scattered across miles, or there has been numerous cases where they have found the individual's belongings either neatly packed in their bags or neatly folded miles away from where they were last seen. And typically it is beyond a reasonable approach that they would have gotten to this area on foot in the time frame from when they were last seen to where they found their belongings.
And they had to be neatly folded?
They're neatly folded. Like there's multiple cases of this.
Yeah, yeah.
So they still don't really know. There's various theories. So I thought tonight, because we all know the fourth kind went the alien route, which we will talk about tonight as well. But I thought I would give you some of the leading theories about why these people, what happened to these people, and you can choose which one you believe in.
Make fun of them. I mean, yeah.
Wow. Listen, This is not funny. Well,
Wait,
this is
are we gonna get
journalism.
the actual thing that happened? The realistic thing that happened to them, or we're only getting
no, there
unrealistic things
are
that
there
could
are
happen?
some realistic things in this list. Because
like predators or
Yeah.
like
all of them are terrifying.
oh yeah, fair, but okay.
But there are actually some what I would say more believable theories than others. And there's one theory we'll talk about that I just downright can't believe.
You can't believe
I can't believe it. Jeff, did you make your background me?
Look at that.
Eli, when did you get here?
I know. It's like I'm looking over your shoulder disappointingly.
That
caption
is a
you
serious-
got too is a great
Yeah, that's a serious no fucks to give
Yeah.
expression.
That's just my like pure disappointment in the situation here. So before we get to theories, I think I'll ask you guys, what do you think? I like your tickle my chin. Ask you guys what you think is happening to these people, because like this number legit climbs every year. They like they said, it gets weirder and weirder. Like them finding these neatly like their belongings neatly packed stuff. They never found a trace of them. They've never found bodies for a lot of these people. And there have been some cases where they thought individuals were going to be on this. One of the most famous ones actually happened a couple years ago. A family was going camping. This like their 4-year-old kid kind of wandered off in the woods, was gone for 4 days. They were searching for him. They finally found him like 7 miles away. And when they asked him like what happened, because like they're like, that's really
He was
far for a
alive?
kid. Yeah, he was alive.
Okay.
And the only thing he said was a bear guided me here.
Okay.
But
Sure.
but so like that's like the only kind of weird like that's one of the rare instances where like someone went missing, and that's the only time they've ever gotten like kind of an answer, and like as a kid. So likelihood of a bear leading them 7 miles away because they're 4 years old that they walked that far. But do you guys have any theories up top that what could make these people go missing before I give you the list to see if maybe you could be investigators on this case?
Yeah, it's all different things. It's not like it's
800
like one thing. It's not like aliens took
10,000
all these
people.
people.
Yeah.
It's all different things.
I was going to say,
all
you
these
talking
people.
specifically about this kid or just all these
No,
people?
No, all.
in
He's
general?
saying all these people. He
well,
said,
Yeah, I mean, there's no way to like. I mean, it could be any number of things.
No, that's true.
Each case is going to be different, right? Like
Potentially. Okay, well let's look at the cases where they find their belongings
still, like,
folded up neatly and packed neatly. What do you think happened to these people?
murdered.
Okay,
beaten,
all right, fair enough.
Hypothermia.
Did
heart
they
attack. Yeah, there's like,
Okay. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Well, you know what? Let's go. Let's look. Let's
do you
go in
want a
the
list of every way
Yeah, we
someone
need
can
some
die? 'Cause
specific examples.
Let me give
here.
you- Let me give you some specific examples. Okay,
Mhm.
and we're gonna start right off the top with the elephant in the room, based on the fourth kind.
Oh,
You don't have
aliens.
to call me that. That's kind
One of the
rude.
theories is aliens. A lot of people believe that aliens are abducting people that are hiking alone in these forests because there's not a lot of witnesses, not a lot of people around. There's not a lot of human technology like cameras and stuff out. They can abduct these people and take them to do whatever, whether it's for testing or whatever they're doing. And a lot of times they leave their items there because they have no need for their items, or the technology that lets them take them doesn't, like, whether it's like some form of phasing or like tractor beams or something, doesn't allow for their clothes and stuff, so that like that gets all left behind. That's one of the theories.
So it's a tractor beam that neatly folds their clothes.
Who knows? Or maybe like the aliens.
It's a very
fold them up.
it's a very considerate tractor beam.
Is it like, oh, this is a random question. We don't know in every case anyway. Even if this was the case where the beam, let's just say, can't take clothing, you need a naked body. Is every single item of clothing there? Like every single sock, underwear,
Some of the cases-
watches, jewelry, hats.
Some of the
like,
cases, yes, they have found like
every
like,
single extra item on.
there's even been cases where like they have pictures of them either before, like if it like some of the parks, like there's some camera stuff like when you go in the entrance, like for some of them if you have to like check in or whatever, or like they have taken pictures and posted like on social media on their way in, and they have found all the clothing in those pictures with their stuff when they find their stuff. So that's one theory, aliens. I take it none of you guys really are feeling the alien theory.
No, of
right?
course not.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go to maybe a more realistic one.
Okay.
A big theory people have is it is estimated that only 10% of the cave system in the US is actually mapped, that there's still 9% that we have not accessed, or either because like certain areas are caved in, or like we just haven't found them, or it's too dangerous for people to go in. And that a lot of these caves have like semi openings or like entrances that aren't like regular, like, or like are like kind of half hidden or hard to tell. As well as many of these places that were eventually taken over as like national parks and stuff. People used to own. There's a bunch of unregistered mines, and the theory is that a lot of people fall into these either unknown mine shafts or like unknown cave entrances and get stuck. That is probably one of the prevailing theories.
Yeah, that's not bad. I mean,
Yeah, that's totally legit.
Totally, yeah. If there's something that we have uncharted, like whatever, and people just falling into it.
Yeah, one of the places we used to trespass onto to hike had a thing called the alphabet hole, and it was a sinkhole.
I've been to that bar before.
Ridge. and if you got a big rock and dropped it in, you could say the whole alphabet before you would hear it hit the ground. And you're standing on top of that, like what in effect would be a skyscraper in the ground.
God, that's terrifying.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think that's where you're going with that story.
Sorry, but yeah, sinkholes are a thing for sure.
Yeah.
So isn't that the whole? And I love the movie, so let's not school me. But isn't that the whole plot of The Descent? It's an uncharted. It's like a cave that is not on.
Yeah.
No. But what I'm saying is that it's like that's why the people will never find them, because it's like a cave that has been unexplored and uncharted. So and then they go in it. And so no one's ever going to come get them because it's like not on a map or whatever bullshit.
Yeah, nobody knows they're there. Yeah.
Because fucking Juno is the worst human being ever exist in any movie ever. But so this is like this is like a plausible.
One of the actual like articles out, like when I was getting stuff together, one of the articles I read, it said that as much is known about the bottom of the ocean as is known about the caving system in the US.
Yeah, so I mean,
as well as the number of unregistered mines. They said we still don't have a number. Like there's areas like in Utah, Arizona, and Nevada. There's like mile areas where there's like thousands of these little mine entrances. Like back in the day, people did, and just like they did a time they didn't have to register or anything, and like now they're like half covered. And
I like this theory. Yeah.
All right. So do we all feel good about the cave theory then?
Yeah, I like this one.
Okay. Well, here's this theory. Which you'll probably like as well. A lot of people say they believe it's just a high number of predatory animals in some of these areas: bears, mountain lions, cougars, etc. But the one thing that people find weird is they don't find blood or like shredded clothing remains or things of a lot of these people. Granted, some of these areas are vast and who knows which direction the animal went in, but they argue that there would be instances where they would find these things and they have not. So, could be wild.
Listen, my dogs are not wild animals. They were strays. And when my dogs eat anything, there is not a fucking spot left behind, whether it's edible or not. So, you know what?
Yeah, but you think you still finding their poop, right? Like, Yeah,
but these
clothing shreds?
I don't know.
Nope. I mean, Jamie knows this because she gets reels from me almost on a daily basis. Half of my TikTok and Reels feed is this kind of stuff. A guy wandering out in the woods, hearing something weird, climbing up a tree to look up and see a mountain lion in the tree. I mean, and that's the story of you. I mean, this stuff happened. I mean, this part of the people that go missing, I think if it was a Venn diagram, maybe not a majority, but a high percentage is exactly this. I mean, there are predators everywhere.
That's true. That is true.
And bears will kill you because they think you're food. My mountain lion will kill you just because it's bored. And wolves. I mean, even if you don't talk about the apex predators, you've got things like if you get between a mother moose and a calf, you're dead.
Listen, there's a
They will
lot of
mash you into a pulp.
there's a lot of animals I'd mess with. I wouldn't mess with a moose.
No,
Exactly.
mooses.
They are just mean. And they're house sized. No animal needs to be that big.
And now I know Jeff has gone on the record multiple times this show saying that he would give guns to monkeys.
Yeah.
I don't even know if Jeff would mess with a moose.
I mean, well, I don't know about messing with them, but I mean, I'd give it a gun.
You'd arm
If
it.
it's-
Why would you give a moose a gun?
Why not?
How would they even fire it? They don't have fingers.
Well, I mean, it'd figure it out somehow.
What you gotta hang it on its like
I'd rig up
antlers?
a complex pulley system for it.
so like he kicks its little legs, which is also
you hook
something
it
else
to its
about
antlers,
moose you don't trust.
and then
You know, one of these days you are gonna open the door to the apocalypse, and I know it's gonna be you.
well,
I'm gonna open the door to the apocalypse.
One of these days. And-
like on Supernatural.
yeah, but like it
We
always,
don't. We still need to do that. but
it's
yeah.
not going
But
to
to
be
your
like
point about clothes and stuff, I mean, a predator is going to consume, and then, there may be fabric swatches left, but
that's just something they point out that the folks that bring up the predator thing. People have point out like, well, you would think in some cases we'd find something, but we typically
Why?
don't find. That's just what they say.
if I drop a Snickers bar wrapper in the middle of the woods and you walk out there, what are the fucking chances you're going to find my Snicker bar?
Did you leave a piece of Snickers in there?
Wait, but
No.
also in some cases they do find these things, right? Or don't you only end up on this list if they find literally nothing? Like, what I'm trying to say?
Like it's either like they find nothing or like they find, like I said, the other cases have been like they found either their clothes scattered amongst miles, which would point that they're like a predator is not going to eat somebody. They'd be like, "Whoop! I'm going to take their shirt over here, and I'm going to take their book bag over here." And I'm
no,
gonna
the person got naked,
well,
and
that's
then the
possible.
predator came.
No,
Like,
that is a possibility as well too.
Well, not to bring it too close to home, but to illustrate my point, I mean, we know for a fact that there is a jeans leg out there in the world.
That's true.
somewhere
That's true.
True.
Wait,
that disappeared off the face of the planet.
maybe Jeff, you were almost part of this missing group.
It's possible, yeah. I mean, I don't really remember, like I said, what happened. So I could have been abducted that night.
That's
you
true.
know?
But that could have been
He could have ridden
aliens.
a bear. He could have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like maybe the alien only got his leg, his pant leg
Yeah.
fell off, and he managed to like get away. You know.
Yeah. I mean, it could be anything.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
But clothes do go missing, I guess is my point.
That's true. That's true. The other thing on the list, which is they claim are predators, but this one, there's part of this next theory that I find unlikely.
That it's predators?
No. Well, it's special predators. Some people claim it is cryptid predators. They'll point out like the Wendigo. They'll point out like various other like monsters or tales. But the one thing on this list, this gentleman who's also a Bigfoot theorist point out there is that maybe Bigfoot is not a peaceful creature. That maybe it is Bigfoot in some of these areas murdering people for them getting on his territory.
Bigfoot's now like a serial killer?
I will basically. I'll take Wendigos, of course. I'll take.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cryptids. I'll take like various ogres and troll, whatever. But I just can't see Bigfoot killing people.
Yeah, I agree. As an organization, the Wicked Wild Podcast and all of its affiliates will not take party in adding any bad publicity to the Bigfoot
Right.
Sasquatch community.
Right. Now, I know Jeff likes to claim they're 86 feet tall and that they rampage to the forest on backhoes.
Sometimes, yeah.
But I just can't in good faith think the Bigfoot's like murdering people and hiding their bodies.
What do you think he used the backhoe for?
Are you saying that's how he buries his victims?
Mm-hmm.
With
But
his
wouldn't
cow wives.
But wouldn't
Yeah.
people, yeah, that's true. But wouldn't people hear a fucking backhoe in the middle of the forest?
Well,
You know
I'm
how
not.
big the forest
if
is? Like, you of all people. Like, I
if
don't
a-
understand.
If a backhoe falls in the forest, does anybody around to hear it? Does it make
I
a
would
noise?
just think that in some cases when they go search for these people, they got these helicopters, they would see a fucking backhoe
He's already
tearing through the
gone.
forest.
He's gone already.
Yeah, dude,
He's
he
a
knows what's up.
professional.
Where would he hide a backhoe in the forest?
It's
Didn't we already
camouflage.
establish- I thought we already went over this.
I think we have.
I don't
gone
understand
through.
why every time we talk about Bigfoot, the thing that we always fixate on
It's
is
the
the fucking
backhoe.
back.
Well, I mean, also he is 86 feet tall, so that'd be a big fucking backhoe.
And also, like these references, we're talking season 1 now, right?
Yeah.
This is season. This is season
nobody has
1.
any idea.
We'll
Go back to the Bigfoot theories.
Oh, that's a great fucking episode. You should go back to it. That episode.
We
God,
debunked a
crying.
lot of myths in that episode.
Wait, did we debunk or did someone convolute with their inability to measure things?
I'm going to say debunk.
Oh, fair enough.
I mean,
Hey Jeff, did you ever figure out what the plural of methods was?
I'm not sure. Just so you know, I'm equally good at measurements as I am definitions. So,
but yeah, so like the cryptid theory, that one I don't subscribe to that one. I think that's kind of
some cryptids, but not our boy.
Yeah. Like the fact, like, and honestly, when they were talking about cryptids, they put Bigfoot as number 1 as the like the list of cryptids that could be doing this. They made Bigfoot number 1, which I found silly.
Yeah, we won't be contributing to that. Number 1 is going to be something stupid like Donkey Lady.
First off,
or something subversive like that you wouldn't expect. Like, what if Squanch?
yeah.
Or Squanch is the major murderer.
Squonk.
I think Squanch is from Rick and Morty. Isn't it?
Squanch is a squonk with IBS.
Yeah.
Like it just looks like Jeff has 2 heads sometimes. Like it's like when Michael Scott comes in with his like paper mache head for Halloween. I can't. This is
if anybody even if you listen to this through your headphones, whatever, later go in, check out the YouTube video after a couple minutes in, and just see how Jeff made his background my most disappointed
especially
face.
when Jeff sits right there. Like that's right. Sometimes he's further back and he's small, like right there.
It literally looks like Jeff is sitting on Eli's lap, like telling him what he wants for Christmas.
You take a picture of him, frame and give it to you for Christmas on your desk.
All I know is I've counted at least 12 times that Eli's made that face and sat back to the side like that.
Oh man. All right. Well, hey, there's 5 more theories.
5 more.
5 more. Now we're starting to get into like, well, 4 of the 5 are potential, like we're getting close to real territory. One of them there is kind of interesting evidence for, and has ties to potentially another movie we watched in the past. But let's do the 4 first. The other one is serial killers. They actually believe that there's a lot of people claim that because the 70s and 80s, 60s, 70s, 80s, even to early 90s was a high level of serial killers. They think the stats are going down, but some people actually argued that because of all of the obsession and the way these people got caught, that a lot of serial killers have started basically patrolling these or using these areas, and even the Appalachian Trail and things like that as their hunting grounds. And one of the things they point to is in the last 5 years, out of the 7 serial killers that have been caught, 4 of them only got their victims from the Appalachian Trail or various trails like that. So a lot of people think that potentially serial killers going to these remote areas because they can go in different entrances, no one will ever know. They'll find these people. There's nothing recorded of them, kill them, and then get away scot-free.
Yeah. I mean, I've watched in the last year, I've watched at least 2 documentaries about exactly that happening.
Yeah.
And it makes perfect sense. I mean, not to get in the mind of a depraved killer, but.
Well, you're thinking awful lot like a killer there, Dave.
Am I?
I don't know. Are you?
Why don't you come over here and find out?
I don't know if I want to go hiking with you anymore. I'll be too busy looking for cave holes, and next thing I know, you're going to be trying to take my crown. But it makes sense. I mean, some of these places. That's why, if you do the Eli diarrhea method, if you see some in the woods you don't know, just start shitting everywhere.
Oh my God.
People will generally leave you alone. Just saying. The next one, which once again, there's actually been cases of this, is what they refer to as feral people, which are typically people that kind of live in these areas, become isolated, secluded for decades, And then when they're so protective and so like unaware like the modern world that they actually kill people that like come across what they perceive as their property. A famous example of this is what the movie Wrong Turn was based on, which was this family. They weren't mutants. There was some brother and sister loving
Inbreeding, yeah.
but they weren't brother and sisters who like owned this part of this like state park, and they didn't know. The government actually found out like they were living there and went to escort them off, and like when they went to talk to them, they killed a couple of these government agents, then like they like dragged them out. But they call them feral people. They think there could be people like this all over the US in these isolated areas, and like they're still working under like old school mentality. Come on my land, I'm gonna kill you.
Yep. Yeah, that one also sounds very legitimate and well documented.
Yeah. I mean,
and even within that, if it's not feral people, we need to realize that within the country, especially around the area where I grew up, there are people that trespass and then set up pot farms or drug dens or meth cabins. I mean, those people are there to make their drugs and to keep people off of them. And that's the story of you if you show up randomly on their property. I've had that experience before.
You have?
They came on your property when you were growing your drug farm?
Meth, when he was cooking meth.
Just trespass hiking and find yourself in a patch of the green, and go back the way you came.
And then Jason Voorhees pop out.
Then you start hearing gunfire and dogs, and you go the other way.
Jeez.
But yeah, that happens all the time. I guarantee it. People accidentally wander into the wrong patch.
All right. Well, Jeff, what happens if you walk in a group of people like this? What's your go-to plan? We know Dave would walk away. Jamie would never be that far in the woods, I think, to run across that anyways. So, Jeff, what's your play if you walk in on one of these situations?
Well, where I grew up at,
that's true.
I probably know the people whose farm it was, so I would stop in and say hi and see how things were going. Like,
get a pound of this year's harvest.
I remember the one by my parents' house. The one summer, I was probably 14, 15. The whole hillside caught on fire because there was a family that lived up on the hill that was trying to get rid of their, we'll say, crops because the police were onto them, and literally they accidentally caught the whole hillside on fire. Like,
how long did you stay outside that day?
I was outside most of the day, just sitting there on my porch swing watching the chaos. Oh, it was absurd. Like, it was so great because like it was like the end of the world. Like the whole hillside was on fire because it was middle of summer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they were just trying to get rid of a small patch, and then accidentally
just caught the whole hill on fire.
Yeah. Didn't get their trailer though.
Well, that's good.
You know,
which if they were trying to avoid the police, this most assuredly brought people in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to figure like we lived in an area where you could burn your garbage, and like like a small fire wouldn't have done it, but like it was
up like
oh my god, it was so.
Oh man. Okay. All right. The next theory, which is also kind of plays into what you were talking about there, Dave, is government or criminal organizations.
Organization.
Sorry, I was sitting on Jeff's hillside. The government or criminal organizations. There has been Freedom of Information Act leaks. MK Ultra, which used to be considered a conspiracy theory, like 10 years ago, they released papers and it was real.
Stone fact, yeah.
And they think that, based on how the badly poor reception, how that got out, that now it's easier for them to when they want to test on people or do things, they can just take these random people in the woods. Or people walk, various criminal organizations have different growing or business stuff in these remote random locations. And sometimes these people walk across them and they're not going to walk out. So a lot of people think it's that, which also reasonable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there may be a major aircraft manufacturer who has a couple of these around the country.
They're trying to actually this major aircraft manufacturing came out. They're like, hey, we know all this stuff with our planes is bad, but did you see our first rocket just went to space? So, we're doing all right.
Surprised the door didn't fly off.
Please, for the love of God, look over here. That's what they're doing.
Don't look at these videos of people like their windows blowing out of the planes. But yeah, but like the government organization one, that I find interesting because every time people are like, oh, that's weird, the government do that. Then 50 years later, the government's like, well, I mean, technically,
sort of,
technically, because that's the one thing, was it Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, he said that, he was like this super genius as a kid, graduated from Harvard when he was like 16 with like mathematics and stuff, and then was teaching there. And he claimed after they caught him that he was part of K Ultra and everybody's like, no, that's conspiracy, whatever. Then they're like, yeah, we used to go to college campuses, but we didn't know. So
LSD is a hell of a drug. It will reprogram your brain.
Yeah,
I hear.
Yeah, you're speculating.
It's academic. Yeah.
Yeah, just academic speculations.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Now, some of these people, I can, if I feel like if it was me in the woods, the government, they wouldn't want me because I would know how to counteract all their tricks.
And you'd be covered in shit.
I would be covered in diarrhea. I for sure would.
Did you already dose him? No. What is he doing?
They're like, he just running in circles. He took his pants off. He's running in circles, spraying diarrhea everywhere. Let's stop him. No, we don't want to touch him. It's everywhere. He's like, stop, dropping, and rolling in it. We don't even know what's happening.
You're sure you didn't dose him?
You know what? Just let him go. Just let him go. See? And I'm like, and I win again. It's gonna be a long walk. It's gonna be a long walk. First off, how dare you bring up that demonic bird again? Jeff, were you on the episode of Killdeer? I don't think so.
No, he wasn't.
No, it was just us.
You grew up you remember Killdeer?
Like the little birds, the little ones?
Yeah, that were dangerous. And
exactly.
The little birds.
They were real territorial, they attack you and stuff.
No, they don't attack you.
I know they were little, and I know they were birds. But I know I've never got attacked.
Can't confirm the rest of that.
Well, you should count your lucky stars.
I think that it's probably because you're corncob bird feeders.
Listen, I told you I threw those out the bus window because I thought they were dumb.
Probably kept them in your pocket. If I had to guess.
Listen,
so Jeff, are you saying you are familiar with this bird and weren't aware that it is one of the most deadly animals on the planet?
Yeah. I've seen the birds. I didn't realize
they would put their nest on your porch and dive at your head.
I've never had that happen. No.
Did you have a porch roof?
Yeah, we had a.
Was there a place for them to?
We had a sun porch, and then we had the awning over the.
So it was awning. So there wasn't a place up there for them to build a nest.
Well, no, it was pitched, so it was part of the roof.
Well, maybe they just didn't like the wood. They would we would get them. They would build nests up there, and then they would just chirp a lot. But I could still get out of the house without fear for my life. Your ceiling must have been too high. Ours was a little bit lower, and
nothing on this show has ever sounded more hillbilly than Eli porch shaming Jeff about the structure of his porch. Oh, you didn't have the good porch.
No, I just said his
crappy low.
No, I said his was too high. Ours must have been lower.
Yeah.
That's what
porch
I said.
Shaming. I haven't heard that in a long time.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to bring it up, but I feel like I was backed into a corner. Now, this theory, some may argue, is the most realistic theory.
Boring.
Yeah, but the other theory is that a lot of people go into the woods and that they're not familiar with either hiking in this type of remote area, or they weren't adequately equipped, or even if they were, which I agree with this part, it can be so easy to turn yourself around these forests that they end up just getting lost. And a lot of times when we find stuff scattered around is because they get hypothermia, which can make you do weird things, like take off your clothes is one of the common things. But The thing that people do point out, though, is that the distance of space between their last known location and a lot of times when they find these things within a couple days is almost unreasonable to think they would have traveled that distance that far, especially when their stuff is scattered because they're going miles back and forth just scattering stuff. So that's the only thing that's like questionable about that theory. But in terms of when they don't find anything, it's a very reasonable theory. Because like the one case I was reading about today, this guy, they found his backpack 8 miles in one direction, and then his clothing like 6 miles the opposite direction from the starting point. So you're looking at like a 14-mile distance completely. And like they found that after 2 days of him being missing, and they're like, there's no like, it seems unreasonable that he would travel that distance in that short amount of time and then go another direction completely.
No.
I'm just telling you what I read, Dave. Okay.
People, my understanding and the stuff I've read, when people get lost, they walk in circles. That's what I would assume in that situation. If there's a pack 8 miles in this direction and clothes 6 miles in this direction, he didn't walk back and forth in a straight line.
Oh,
he was
no.
walking in a circle.
But that would be a much longer distance.
Yeah.
I think this is what their argument is for him to make it in the 2 days to go that time, like him to go, but not knowing where he's going, seems a little quick. I think is the
45 miles.
Well, not everybody's a super hiker like you.
No, not that's a average person who's panicking and lost in the woods. 40 to 45 miles.
I mean,
or me walking around Disney World, but you know.
Well, I mean, if you want to pull out like a logic stuff, whatever.
I mean, I don't want to make our fantastical episode mundane, but yes, 80% of what is happening is 100% this. Because I guarantee you, in most cases, even if somebody's an avid hiker, has some skill, if they're dropped in the middle of the woods with no flashlight or anything, they might as well be on another planet. I mean,
it's very easy to turn around. Now, the other thing that's weird, like when they find this perimeter, a lot of times, they'll use like, even when someone's decaying, the activity of their body starting to decay can release like heat signature, and like they don't even see that when they use their helicopter. So that's why like they're also find it's weird, like because they would have had to walk so far out now at this point without clothes or anything. You think you'd see something, but they don't ever find these people. So
I'm not sure. I guess I don't understand that logic. Like why would you assume you would find something in the wilderness? Presumably,
right? They probably died there, and that their trekking becomes much harder now that they have no clothes. A lot of times they find their shoes, that they're not going as far, and that they would have to lay somewhere. They die, and then
but if you're hypothermic, your core temperature is already low.
Yeah, but once they die and they start decaying, it's not like super hot, but there is a heat signature for decay that you can pick up
in the woods where animals are dying all the time.
Well, now once again, you're bringing in logic to this great mystery.
I'm sorry. See, I'm the wrong person to have on this episode. I apologize. I'm not trying to be a smart aleck like I usually am. I'm just trying to understand the logic of.
Hey, I'm just presenting you the theories that are known. I have my own theory.
Ooh, let's hear it.
Well, I got one more other theory to tell you.
Okay.
This one is an interesting one because there has been 2 government document like leaks or Freedom of Information Acts for some information, even though a lot of it's been redacted, kind of involved in this. Some people think that potentially it could be like either a portal or a dimensional tear between either some other dimension or plane or reality. They believe that either because there's 2 programs. There's the Montauk program, where the government was trying to see if they could do this, if they could open up a plane into another reality, or they found a place that they thought might be a plane, like a tear in a like between dimensions that they could look through. And there's also like the Philadelphia sub experiment, which is still unsolved to this day, where this sub randomly shows up in the harbor outside Philadelphia, full of blood and like body parts most people are missing. In a further leaked document, that sub was being used to test about this like portal rift thing they found in the ocean or something. It wasn't even scheduled to go near Philadelphia. But so a lot of people think that either A, these things are just these tears or rifts are just naturally occurring and people like kind of wander into them, or this is something the government has been testing for years and either like they don't know how to close them or they're weakening and like tears are starting to form because they're just kind of like punching holes into places trying to figure this out, and that these people are like are stumbling into these tears or rifts or openings. So like Stranger Things. And this one has some like, you know, some weird kind of focus on because of the Montauk Project and this Philadelphia sub experiment. So what do we think about that theory?
Sounds far-fetched.
Dave, you're on mute.
Yeah, I was just saying, I think it's much more on brand. So I think it's the one we're backing as a brand, right?
Oh no, but like, I mean, you know, if you remember, this
Very
is
Skinwalker Ranch. I get
kind
it.
of, yeah. And if you remember, when we did, I'm trying to blank that Stephen King
The
movie,
Mist.
The Mist.
The Mist.
The Mist was based on the Montauk
fuck that
Project.
movie.
But you know, there have, you know, this could be, you know.
Oh, it's definitely. Yeah, I think we're gonna say that this is absolutely.
This is it. This is where everybody is going.
Listen. Is it out of the realm of possibility?
Yes.
Next question.
Well, okay, but it's been in government documents that they were trying to do this,
No.
Jamie.
Trying to do, but it's out of the realm of possibility. Next.
How do you know?
Okay.
We can't crack fusion reaction.
We did. We just don't know how to contain it now. We did crack it. We just don't
But
know how to
we are-
contain it.
We're open up dimensional realms wherever we want to.
That sounds exactly like what we do, where we don't understand something.
We just keep fucking.
We don't
we
know
just
how
keep
to
fucking
fix
with
it, but we're like, we know how to open these things, so fuck it. We'll just keep
Just keep
opening until we
opening.
figure something out. Like that 100% sounds like something humans would do, especially our government.
Agreed. Which is why 2024
It's all fucked up.
the way
This
it
shit
is.
is bleeding into our. Oh my god! Did we crack it open? This shit is bleeding into our existence. All I know is I gotta ask you guys: if let's say this is the real one, and you're wandering in
Okay.
the woods, you blunder into one of these rifts, where are you hoping you end up? Like you could end up
like where on our Earth or in what
no, this
dimension
would
do we?
this would be a different dimension. Like it could be like the Upside Down, Stranger Things.
Oh,
It could be
Jesus
like
Christ.
the
I don't
Mist
know.
Land. Maybe it's a place where everything's made of waffles. I don't know.
That sounds good.
Who knows
Do you
what's
remember,
out
is
there?
that where does Homer go? Is everything made of chocolate, donut? What is it? Do you remember there's
Ooh.
The Simpsons?
Oh, it's
he
like
goes,
everything's made of
everything's
donuts.
Like, is that donut or is
Yeah.
it chocolate? I can't remember. But
I'd
anyway.
love to wake up in Middle Earth.
Oh,
Just be there.
oh,
Jamie, she falls into a portal. She steps into the 100-acre wood.
Oh my God! Yes.
well, is it 100 Acre Woods Winnie the Pooh or 100
Yeah.
Acre Woods Pooh Blood and
No, I never saw Pooh
Whatever.
and Honey. It's
Blood
fucking
and Pooh.
100 Acre Woods.
Fully
Winnie
animated,
Pooh.
not
It's
even
like,
real.
yeah,
It's the animated.
Although I
100
will
acres.
take the ones from Christopher Robin too because they're fucking adorable.
Okay.
But
All right. What about you, Jeff? Where you hoping you end up?
At this point, anywhere but here, I'll tell you.
He's over there trying to open a rift as we speak.
yeah.
I love when Dave answers for me because he comes up with much.
Sorry.
No,
Sorry.
let me finish. You come up with much better answers than I. I love when everybody answers for me because I never. I don't even.
Now
know.
Jamie's going to go to bed tonight and dream of
Uh-huh.
living in the
Yeah.
100-acre wood.
Uh huh.
I feel like if it was Jeff, he would just end up in a desert and there'd be one pant leg.
Yeah.
He'd be like,
Yeah.
oh,
Well,
There it
shit,
is.
there it is.
with a picture of baby Jesus in a car seat next to it.
Mystery solved.
Man, like, how do I get out of here? Why does that monkey got a gun?
Why
I would just
doesn't
be
that
happy
monkey
there's
have
no
a gun?
jellyfish there.
Oh,
Well,
it's
yeah,
true.
that ultimately that would be the goal was to live on a planet with no jellyfish.
Jeff, I don't know if you saw in the news week, they found like 3 new breeds of jellyfish.
Nope.
There's new ones coming.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They found like 3 new breeds. So
Yeah, you
Jeff
guys,
wants to
you guys-
unsubscribe.
You guys laughed at me, so
I
It's
mean, I
happening.
just feel like, if you don't go in the ocean, what can they do to you?
they can still come get you. So
I feel like for the man who was willingly give Prime Ape a gun,
why do you think I'm giving him a gun?
What?
At least you're on the same team, right?
like the
You're
monkey.
team
Are you talking
land.
about like a monkey versus jellyfish war?
Yeah, it could happen.
Boy.
I mean,
It's the land mammals versus. That's why he's giving them to the moose. The moose is the heavy artillery.
Wow. I don't even know how to respond to that. Now, so those are the theories. I have my own theory.
oh gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I have my own theory. I think just recently they believe that mushrooms, specifically cordyceps, had the ability to grow inside living people, like The Last of Us. But these places are so remote, and there are places in the forest in the US that the bubonic plague still thrives. I'm thinking that there are probably places where these mushrooms, like, they poop out their spores, you breathe it in, next thing you know, you're a mushroom person. Meld into a tree.
Absolutely not. What?
What do you mean, absolutely not?
Now, I will concede to you, Eli, I will concede to you. I 100% agree that in some of these cases, mushrooms are definitely involved, but not in this way.
You don't think people are coming across these like
No.
breeds of mushrooms that we're not super familiar with? They're and they get infected
Their
with them.
whole body and they just become one with
yeah.
nature? No.
Listen, Jamie, that's what cordyceps really do. And there's like 33 breeds of animals right now that's what they do. They like, just like The Last of Us, they infect
Didn't
you.
you teach us about this in like
Yes, I did.
the zombie one where there were no
I did.
zombies, right?
I
Dave?
did.
Was it that?
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
this year they found the first case of them growing inside of a living human, which they didn't think mushrooms had the ability to do, or fungus had the ability to do at this time.
Wait, what?
Cordyceps to grow inside of humans.
Oh, you said fungus growing
Well,
inside of humans.
no, like cordyceps.
I've got fungus growing inside of me right now.
That's gross. And I'm betting it's actually been happening longer. That these people get out there, they're already disoriented from being lost in the woods. Next thing you know, they got cordyceps growing through them. Next thing you know, they're a giant mushroom attached to a tree.
No.
That's what I think.
Nope.
Of all of the wondrous paranormal and cryptozoology that you hold inside that melon of yours, Eli, this is the story
Listen,
you've chosen to pitch. As the reason
here's why, right? Here's why. Ever since that that they did that case this year where they found it growing that guy's arm, which ended up having to get his arm amputated because even now we do not have a great way of killing most funguses.
without killing the host, yeah.
Right, without killing, we can deter them or we can set them on fire, but like you can't actually kill like a fungus or mold. And then like it grew in that guy, and I was like, this is the underdog for the apocalypse now. Like this is the underdog, and like I've been reading more about it. Like that seemed like there is many scientists who theorize the biggest threat from global warming is not the flooding, it's not the weather, it's because fungus and mold always adapt, and it will always adapt to survive, and it will adapt faster than we can't really do anything with them now. And if they continue to adapt to these harsher climates, all bets are off. So that is now that's what I'm thinking. Like, even if we survive AI, we survive the aliens, we survive whatever those golden empty egg things that were floating in the ocean, that guy in Russia who injected himself that old virus, we survive all that. We think we get the other side. What's the other side? Getting eaten by fungus. Calling it now. Calling it now.
Seems reasonable.
It's very
I
reasonable.
want you to be assured, Eli, and hopefully this will help you sleep well at night. Because I just found it because I was looking for your arm guy, which I don't know that it exists because I can't find it on the internet. But did you know that you can actually purchase and take cordyceps supplements?
Well, it's a different breed of cordyceps, though.
Of course.
Well, no, there's different breeds, guy. Listen, man, funguses are complex organisms. They are not simple organisms.
Well, people are taking these as nutritional supplements. So
Well,
I'd say
there are some healthy ones. It's not all breeds of cordyceps do this.
Sorry, I was looking for your armless guy, but I couldn't find him. I just found ways for us to consume these anytime we want to.
I'll find it. I'll find it.
For our audience, while he looks this up,
I'm looking it up. Well,
just because we have a lot of dead space.
Well, hold
right
on
now.
a second. Well, here's a new one, another one from February where they found a rare case of black mold growing inside a man's brain.
Yeah, black mold is that's everywhere.
Guy had a dirty mind.
What do you mean a dirty? Oh, I see what you did there.
I see what I did.
I see what you did there. Here's one. Oh, wait, I found it.
I'm not calling you a liar. I was literally.
I'm going to find it.
Curious and
It's
wanted
crazy
to-
because now I'm finding all these new ones. Like in India, it's reported they found a guy had fungus growing in his throat. And that's like they're like this is a rare like something they've not seen before. Like I'm finding all of these. I can't find the first one because I'm getting to more and more of like these new ones, which
The
is
algorithm
just
is just messed up.
frightening me at this point.
So Jeff and Jamie, while he's looking that up, fungus, bacteria, or virus. If you had to choose a way to go, what are you choosing?
Fungus, bacteria, or virus?
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably go virus because it's more
Yeah,
aggressive.
virus. That's
Get it
what I
over with.
Yeah.
We have to do a part 2 of this. Why I look at
Okay,
this. There's so
we'll
many
do a
articles
part
now of all these doctors finding like mushrooms, molds, and fungus growing in people at an alarming rate, and I'm terrified at this point.
There's plenty of body horror movies that we can do to set you up for that.
Oh, to set you up for that, yeah.
All I know is if any of you pick fungus to die by, you are slowly being eaten alive
Mhm.
By something that we have no cure for.
that
at
we
all.
can't really kill unless they throw you in a fire, which, let's be honest, not ideal.
The treatment
Not
is
great.
worse than the disease. Yeah.
Not ideal. I know we joke a lot. Like it's not like Jeff's jellyfish where he has to have people pee on him. Like you know what I mean? Not gonna do nothing. I'm just saying.
You
Jeff-
say that next time you get bit by a jellyfish, you'll be begging me to pee on you. So
Yeah.
Well, I'm just
And
wondering.
Jeff will
Jeff,
say, not today.
I'll say
boy."
no. Not
you-
today.
if you're ever around jellyfish, Jeff, do you just like carry a bottle of your pee with you, or
He can't really get into
I just
the
don't.
details.
Yeah, I don't go around jellyfish. We'll just leave it at that.
Exactly.
I just don't understand this fear of jellyfish.
Well,
I don't understand your fear of killdeer. Let's all move
Exactly.
There's
on.
a,
Yeah, it's
because
a lot of shade for the guy.
jellyfish can't peck my eyes out, Jamie.
I don't think killdeer can either, to be honest.
They have beaks, which are what are beaks? Basically like nails.
And now we have a fellow populous member of that same community who's telling us it's a tiny bird. That was his.
it's little. They're little.
Listen, listen, Jeff just literally told a story for a whole day as a child. He sat out and breathed in the marijuana fumes that one person would smoke their whole lifetime. That basically throws any of his other theories and arguments into question.
And you told us a story that when you were a child, you dishomed an entire family of birds.
I
And you
moved
made
them because they
Corncob bird
wouldn't let
feeders.
us in the house. No, our school made us. I didn't want to make them.
Well,
I
I'm
don't
saying
like
You
the
learned to
smell.
count using a fucking
I
piece
don't
of
like
string
Once
and
again,
a popsicle
A
stick.
They-
popsicle stick
they-
abacus.
the school made us made those. I did not like them because one, I can do math in my head, and two, I don't like the smell of glue. These were not things I wanted to do. We all did things in school we didn't want to do. Am I right? Am I right? That's all I'm saying. But anyways, yeah. So that's
Is that a killdeer tattoo on your arm?
It is not. How dare you?
So it looks
How,
like.
it is not a killdeer. How dare you? How
It's about
dare
the
you?
same size as them.
Yeah.
So, you know.
No, listen, you
Life-size killdeer tattoo
Jamie,
on your arm.
do you know what one of the oldest sayings in the world is?
If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Don't be afraid of killdeer.
Besides that, no. Dynamite comes in
Is
small
that a
packages.
bear? That's the oldest statement.
Is that a bear?
Dynamite comes in small packages, Jamie.
Not in the-
That's
not in the
all I'm gonna
face.
say. Oh man, well, yeah, that's the missing 4-1. I will say, it's all joking aside. This is terrifying. The number of people a year, and like the fact that we don't even have an exact number this far into the game still is crazy. Like I said, we know there's 1,000. Well, at this point now the number's higher, but like there was at least 1,000 that we had documented, and we think it's closer between like 6,000 and 10,000 people that have gone missing in the forests and national parks of the U.S.
And how long? Wait a minute. And how
within
long?
the last 100 years.
That's, I mean, let someone do the math here. That's not, I mean,
Well,
Is it
Oh,
possible?
car
years.
accidents
Is it
and-
possible killdeer are getting them?
I mean, I don't want to say anything.
that was theory number one.
I don't want to say anything.
We spent a lot of time reaching that, Jeff, and we found
Yeah.
Nothing.
No events of killdeer attacks.
But even
David,
like
I tried.
yeah.
Jamie, I would agree with you. Like for like if it's like 100 years ago, 50 years ago, but the fact that it still happens every year now, and you
Yes.
think with
Yeah, because
technology,
of all the reasons we just said.
And
Listen,
people go missing.
wait,
right,
so
right.
take how many were there realistic? 4? Like how many were realistic? We got some serial killers, we got the caves, we got just
Lost.
hypothermia and and we
Government
got like
criminal
predators.
organizations.
Yeah. So we're up to 5 now. Predators.
Yeah.
So let's just say 5. Let's just stop there for 1 second. So between 5 different ways of this happening, 1,000 people or something. Again, we're going to do math here. And I'm
well, it's
like,
probably more. It's closer to 6,000 to 10,000.
no, you said in 100 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Or
It's,
something.
it's closer to 6,000
So
to
in a
10,000. We
year-
only have documented 1,000.
That's even so. This is okay.
So,
So
let's,
In
that's
a year,
10
how
people
many
a
people?
year.
This is
let me get my calculator. Let's say it's 10,000.
this is nothing. I'm so confused.
10,000 divided by 100. That's 100 people a year.
Do you know how many people are in the world?
Yeah, but like you figure now in modern times, people have GPSs.
Understood, but I guess what we're
Okay.
saying is like I think this is getting blown out of proportion of how mysterious or how detrimental this is to the
You know what?
population. Like, yeah, 100 people go missing in the woods a
Oh,
year.
you know what?
Totally, fucking
No,
totally.
You know what, Jamie? All I'm saying is, you say
No,
this
I don't
now.
have anything nice to say. I don't say
You
anything.
say this now. The next time you go in the forest, okay,
Don't go in the forest.
and you like accidentally walk into a time rift, and it's
Yeah.
just jellyfishes. You're gonna be like, shit. I wish I listened to Eli.
This isn't the 100-acre wood.
Yeah, there's all these fucking jellyfish.
Do you think the killdeer are getting those people?
I mean,
I mean,
I wouldn't put it past them. I think big bird industry, right, is lying to us being like, oh, they're just little birds.
It's called
Like,
Sesame Street.
I there's 2 instances in my life where I've been attacked by a killdeer. Okay.
But aren't there the people who think like birds aren't real or whatever?
Well,
Isn't
but
that
those
what
people are
stuck
fools.
in?
now when
But-
you say attacked,
Yes.
did it fly
There's no
in
such
your
thing.
general vicinity? Like
Listen,
it was like, oh, there's a bird 4 to 5
Deadly
feet
flew
away
into
from
him
you.
by accident.
they-
Because you're
I was-
obviously here and you have both your eyes. How did that happen?
I was it had built its nest in the roof of the porch, and like they
You're
would die.
far superior porch to
No,
Jeff's
we had
porch.
I'm all saying is we had a lower roof on our porch than Jeff did, and it would
I like
dive
Jeff's
at your
crap
head.
porch.
It didn't want you on the porch near its nest.
Rightfully so.
It's our porch.
Any bird would do.
It's its nest. It's its babies.
Okay,
It's gonna
and it
do
was attacking me.
anything. It did not attack you though.
We have robins that have they put nest in Mary's bird feeders by our house all the time. I've never been attacked by a robin.
False. Robins are assholes.
I've never been
you've
attacked by a
I don't
robin.
think you've been attacked by a killdeer either.
I have twice in my life, Jamie.
Show me the scars. Show me the
I
scars.
barely got out without. I was moving, ducking,
Okay, if you
dodging,
barely got
diving.
out with your life, show me the
Yeah.
scars.
There is none because I was able to
No,
dodge all of its
uh,
attacks.
Your
Okay.
ninja reflexes.
Listen, fear and adrenaline, my friend, they can make your body do crazy things. There's stories of
I can't have this
mothers
fight again.
lifting cars off babies with adrenaline. So
So a mother can lift a car off of a baby to save its life,
Mhm.
and this adrenaline
But
has
you can't-
given
you can't
Eli
fend
the
off a
ability to
4-ounce
fend
bird.
off a 3-ounce, 3.5-inch tall
I was
bird.
basically dodging it like
That's your
Neo from the
superhuman
Matrix.
comparison.
Okay. No, it was like dodging it like Neo from the Matrix. I probably at that moment could dodge bullets because that's how fast
Yes.
these things fly.
Yes, I'm sure you
Okay.
could.
All I'm saying is don't subscribe to Big Bird that, oh, it's this little bird that pretends to be hurt. I'm just saying, you got use your own brain. That's all I'm saying.
Why would you invoke the name of Big Bird?
It's yeah. Well, you know what? Big Bird was fucking weirdo creep anyway. So
You
Hey,
just
Eli.
generally have a bird problem.
I bet you.
Can you
He
tell
does.
me
He's one
how
of
to
those-
get?
All I'm saying is, I bet you if you look at if you we got some court documents unsealed. Big Bird's not really allowed within 100 feet of a school playground. I'm just guessing.
Oh my god.
I'm just guessing. Okay. Do you see how he like bend his head over those kids? Like that's weird. Okay. I don't trust Big Bird. All right.
Fair enough.
No, I'm saying. Hey, Dave, you want to tell the 5 folks about the Wicked Wild?
Sure. Thanks for listening tonight. Leave us a review. Our website is thewickedwild.com. Our socials are at Wicked Wild We Are on X and Slasher. And on Instagram, we are at Wicked Wild Pod. And we are also on YouTube. Just search the Wicked Wild Podcast or Campfire Tales Podcast.
Yeah. So on that note, everybody, thanks for listening. And remember, if you're ever hiking in an area of the woods you're unfamiliar with, and you know you're miles from the road, and you hear a backhoe fire up, duck and hide. Because if you ask Jeff, that's Bigfoot coming to kill you and bury you with a backhoe. Thanks, everybody. Bye.